Hey, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. It says AI-generated movie of the end times. Diamond-shaped aircrafts are the watchers, AI telling some truth. And we know that AI goes into artificial intelligence. And this world, as we know, is pretty much ran by AI. From your phones to your smart TVs and to your social medias to, your fucking series to your, what is this thing called with Amazon? Alexis type ordeal. I mean, from your movies you put together, you think of AI, anything you name it, AI is involved in a little bit of everything. As we've always told you, that AI is Esau's pretty much new God on the planet Earth, because artificial intelligence is basically is pretty much a tool used to replace humanity in certain aspects. Like when you go into artificial, meaning that it's not real. Okay, it's an artificial way of life, appearing or seeming to be real, but it's not real. All right, and the people, they can't really fathom the concept between reality and the AI generated world. Okay, which is ultimately a detriment to the people, because eventually this whole AI embarking is going to lead to the MOTB. And every day we're hearing new information, new clips coming about the coming MOTB system, which is going to be shrouded in AI. Okay, it's going to make it all come together in some form of fashion. So we're in those times, but whoever put this together, they knew something, because according to the scholars, Esau Edom, he understands the end times, and he knows that our Lord and Savior, who they ignorantly call Christ, which is the name of Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, is coming back with a gigantic ship. Now, I did go into this slightly yesterday, or I went into it yesterday, but this is actually a little bit more in-depth visual of what we can expect. Okay, not saying all of it is on point, because it goes off when you go towards the end of the video about how the aliens are leaving and how they want to make peace. No, the so-called aliens or the angels, they don't want to make peace with you people. Okay, their job is to bring destruction to this place and deliver the hopeful elect. That's the job of Yahweh Shai and angels, to bring hell to America or to this world and to deliver the hopeful elect. Okay, so this is like a 9-minute video. So Lord's will, you enjoy it, but I'm gonna most likely interject from time to time and throw out a couple of precepts. That way, Jake don't get, things get elongated, and Jake, they have a short attention span. But anyway, let's go ahead and play the video. So here we go.
Houston, this is Radford. A fleet of massive alien spacecraft just appeared out of nowhere and jumped into Earth's atmosphere. The ships are unlike anything.
Panic is spreading across the globe in the wake of the arrival of alien spaceships. Reports of unusual activity and sightings have led to fear and uncertainty, with many wondering what the aliens' intentions may be.
World leaders are working to calm the public and assure their safety, but the situation remains tense. Experts continue to investigate and gather more information as the world grapples with this unprecedented event.
My fellow Americans, today we face a challenge unlike any other in our history. As you may be aware, strange alien objects have arrived on our planet. While we do not yet know their intentions, we must remain calm and approach this situation with the utmost care. I have ordered our government officials to work with international partners to gather more information and develop a coordinated response. We will remain vigilant and steadfast in our efforts to protect our planet and its inhabitants.
President Vladimir Putin has accused the U.S. of inviting the aliens to our doorsteps through unprovoked attacks on the UFOs that were recently shot down over the U.S. and Canada. Putin suggested that the U.S. attacks on the UFOs may have broadcasted Earth's location to the aliens. He added that the world is about to pay a heavy price for what he called America's outrageous actions.
In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through the international community, Russia, China and India have announced that they are teaming up to make first contact with the aliens. The new plan involves a joint task force of scientists, engineers and other experts working together to develop technology capable of communicating with the aliens.
The United States government has expressed that it will not support Russia's efforts to make first contact with the aliens. In a statement released earlier today, President Joe Biden stated that the U.S. government will block any actions that could potentially put national security at risk.
Today, I ordered our brave men and women at the Space Force to do whatever it takes to prevent Russia and its allies from making first contact with the aliens. We are determined to prevent any exchange of technology between the aliens and these nations.
Now, when you go here, right?
Be aware strange alien objects have arrived.
See, they call them aliens, all right? But these are not aliens. Alien just means something that's foreign, of foreign origin. Okay, now when you look at this is straight out of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. I mean, straight up. I mean, you can't call it this. This is taken straight out of the scriptures. All right, and that's what's so interesting about it, because this is the form that Yahweh Shai is going to come back. Like, I don't know, but you brothers noticed that lately they've been talking about alien talk, okay? How these angels, or Salaki, not angels, but these aliens, because Esau likes to differ between the two. He likes to throw you off. But see, they was talking about how, oh wow, I didn't know I had that. But they were talking about how these aliens, or these crafts, that these beings that they've called Area 51, and that they've seen 9-foot humanoid creatures with big green heads and black bubble eyes. That's all folly, man. Okay, well, I do know that Esau does have things on the left-hand side, and the Most High does have a spiritual realm. Okay, you have all sorts of creatures that the Bible goes into that we really have no understanding of. Okay, this is why the scriptures say we know in whole and prophesied in part, because you have creatures out here that we haven't seen yet. Okay, like just the ocean alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put anything past the Most High, man. Okay, the type of sea life, the type of the different dimensions. Who knows what the Lord has out there? You know, and things that would literally bug you the fuck out, man. Like, now this whole talk of these what do you call, like I said, these aliens, okay, which Esau's a devil. Okay, like, for one thing, those type things, if those things are real, then it could be like something that could be demonic as hell, demons, you see. But you can never say that the angels are appearing that way, because that's not how they appear. And angels, they don't crash. Okay, the ships don't crash. So that's some folly, man. And you hear the AI Biden narrating how they want to stop the threat. This is straight out of the playbook of Revelation, man. Okay? But then we going to get them precepts. But I'm going to play this a little bit more, and then we going to get straight to it. Salakia.
Canada. Putin suggested that the U.S. attacks on the UFOs may have broadcasted Earth's location to the aliens. He added that the world is about to pay a heavy price for what he called America's outrageous actions.
And the world is getting ready to pay a heavy price because you follow the whore. Okay, the scriptures say that the nations that have drunk the wine of our fornication, okay, you've given your power into the whore and the beast for 1 hour. Okay, going into the setting up the NATO and the EU alliances. You're going to pay heavy consequences, man, because you've aided in the destruction of this planet and the captivation of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's people, which are the Israelites. So nature itself is getting ready to come against you, Edomites, as they have been. You've been getting swallowed by whales. Okay, you've been getting ate alive. All types of crazy shit has been happening to you devils, man. You know what I'm saying? Edomites claiming to see mermaids and all types of mermaids. That's crazy, man. That's cute. But regardless of that, man, you know, the Lord have all types of creatures out here. Like, honestly speaking, I've never seen no goddamn mermaid. But honestly speaking, I mean, you have mermaid fish. You have all types of cryptoids, cryptid type creatures in the ocean, man. So, I mean, I'm not putting nothing past the Lord. I'm not going to say they don't exist. Now, we ain't teaching this doctrine. But, you know, hey, in the scriptures, it do go into newly beasts created, man. Okay, and also people have account of these Sasquatch creatures, these, what do you call skinwalkers. People have seen shit like this from the supernatural. Those things definitely do exist. I mean, right here in Missouri alone, people have accounts of skinwalkers, man, okay, in what you call Sasquatches, which is what you would consider Bigfoots and shit. So, hey, okay, well, the Bible doesn't say that. You don't really understand the scriptures, man. Scriptures goes into these particular beings, okay, being of unknown descent. But nonetheless, the Lord, he has shit out here for the day of judgment. Okay, so I'm not putting anything past anybody. I mean, the concept of a Leviathan, that's in the scriptures. So, hey, I already know that demons exist, angels exist. And the fact that we're looking at this is supernatural here, but it's going to come in the form of a physical encounter. You see? So.
In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through the international community, Russia, China and India have announced that they are teaming up to make first contact with the aliens. The new plan involves a joint task force of scientists, engineers and other experts working together to develop technology capable of communicating with the aliens.
The United States government has expressed that it will not support Russia's efforts to make first contact with the aliens. In a statement released earlier today, President Joe Biden stated that the U.S. government will block any actions that could potentially put national security at risk.
Today, I ordered our brave men and women at the Space Force to do whatever it takes to prevent Russia and its allies from making first contact with the aliens. We are determined to prevent any exchange of technology between the aliens and these nations, which could jeopardize the national security of our country. I urge the international community and our NATO allies to stand up to this unprovoked attack on global security.
Sleepy Joe will not handle this situation very well. The aliens could be hostile for all we know. But if I were the president, the aliens would have loved me. Ask anyone in Area 51, and they will tell you the truth.
That's like some shit Trump would say. Okay. So anyway, let's without further, let's get a couple of precepts. This is the book of 2 Esdras 13:1. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved the waves thereof. And behold," and the sea is talking about the heavens, the heavens, space, okay, the waters from the waters, because outer space, or what they would consider the vacuum or space, that is the waters, okay, the heavens. The Lord said he created a firmament in the midst of the earth to separate the waters from the water. So you have different types of vapor. You have physical, or you have like more of a liquid form, and then you have more of air particles in air, or the shit you breathe in. That's considered the waters too. Like if you heard of something called evaporation or precipitation, you have different elements of water. Okay. Contrary to these flat earthers, what they teach that the earth, above the earth, you have like we're in a enclosed circuit, when in fact we do have a barrier, a protection around the earth. We do have, earth is technically what you would consider like a closed circuit, because you have what they call the atmosphere, then the gases, then you have the Van Allen belts. But those flat earthers, they believe that on top of the firmament is like physical water, like ocean water, so to speak. Basically, according to their logic, we're just like a big encapsulated dome that's like in the midst of an ocean. Like we're like some type of watercraft in the midst of an ocean, basically being protected from what's outside of the firmament, is what they would say. But they don't understand the meaning of space or the firmament or the atmosphere. They don't really understand how to break it down. You see what I'm saying? The earth is not fucking flat. There's several scriptures proving that. Okay? But even if the earth was so-called flat, as according to you people, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Okay? The Most High told us what the earth looks like, but even then, it is like, that's what's more important, salvation, or you're fascinated with the way that the earth is shaped. Okay? But according to the scriptures, we know what the earth is shaped. We understand it. It's been proven. But anyway, neither here nor there. It says, arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look upon, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Salakia, fucking allergies. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felt when it feeleth the fire, meaning laser beams from those ships. Okay, they showed you in movies like Independence Day, the Worlds, or the War of the Worlds. These ships have the type of technology that's light years ahead of the technology that Esau has harbored up, which the Most High gave him his technology. You see? So Esau even admitted it. He said, we won't have a chance against these intergalactic beings because of the simple fact they were advanced. And we are more advanced. Our civilization, the angelic civilization, it's far more advanced than this third dimensional shit that Esau got. That's why I tell you that the Egyptians are men and their chariots of flesh. Okay, because it's man-made. But the things we're dealing with from the heavens, man, this is beyond your concept, E. And it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when he heard the fire. So, hey, Yahweh Shah can speak a command, and the ship would do as he speak, because it's one is one with the spirit. Like when we get in our ships in the kingdom, when we have our ships to go travel to wherever galaxy we want, we ain't gonna have to physically man the ship, man. Okay, we can autopilot in our mind, say, look, I want you to go to the farthest galaxy. We ain't gonna say no fucking Mars or Venus. It's not gonna be called that. That's named after Greek and Roman gods. Okay, Esau named the constellations of the worlds out there. You see what I'm saying? He named that. The Most High never called them Venus or Mars or Pluto or Uranus. No, those are all Greek gods. Okay, the Most High never called. He knows the stars and the planets by their particular name. So whatever name they're going to be called, once he's took it down, we can say, well, look, let's go to planet such and such, such and such, 1,000,000 light years away from Earth. And you can put your chariot on navigating, it's going to go. You ain't got it. You can just sit up, you can chill. Okay, you ain't going to have to drive it. You can just sit back and you can make it do whatever you want to do. Okay, that's how cold-blooded the technology is going to. Technology is going to be on a whole different level, man. I mean, to the point your garments are going to be ministering to you. It's going to be crazy. What it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And when it says the sea, it wasn't talking about the bottom of the ocean. Though that is the sea, it was talking about he came from outer space. Okay, from a far dimension beyond our own. Okay. And it says here, and behold, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. And when you think of a mountain, you're thinking of these ships, because that ship does look like a mountain. Okay, I mean, look at that. It looks like a mountain, don't it? Look at it.
NATO allies to stand up to this unprovoked attack on global security.
Sleepy Joe will not handle this situation very well. The aliens could be hostile for all we know. But if I were the president, the aliens would have loved me. Ask anyone in Area 51, and they will tell you the truth. When I visited Area 51, everyone was impressed by how aliens greeted me. I was the smartest person.
And it's so funny, it's so spiritual, though, because at this current, even though this is an AI-generated movie, this takes place on Biden's watch. Okay, I mean, I won't be surprised if Biden be that guy that leads us into World War III. I mean, it's not shockingly surprising. The way that everything is going now, I can very well see Joe Biden being the last president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? As far as Trump, I don't see Trump getting back in there, because who's to say we're going to have an election next year? I'm not saying we're not going to have an election, but it's really up in the air at this point whether Trump get reelected or reselected, or they keep this guy Creepy Joe in there. We don't know. Honestly speaking, I hope we don't make it up to next year's election. I just feel like 2024 is going to be a different, like we said last year. 2022, 2023 was a whole different year. Everything is different from last year. 2022 from 2021. Okay, though they went back to some form of normalcy, but it's been different since the whole ordeal kicked off in 2020. That's changed the world forever. Okay, so 2019 and $5 chicken wing dinners, that shit is gone, man. Forget about it. Them days ain't coming back. So I can very well see that this can happen on Biden's watch. Lord's will. But it says here, but I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet does fight. Because if you see a sight like this will mean you're literally shit on yourself, man. Okay, because now the reality is being merged with the supernatural. It's like, oh shit, we read about this, we saw movies about it, but we've never experienced it in real time. So when this actually does come to pass, people are going to realize, okay, this is real. The Bible was real. These guys on the corner with these garments and these signs, they wasn't just calling our bluff. They wasn't just bluffing. They were just really speaking what they knew and what they felt in the spirit. And that's when we're going to start pretty much getting credit that we deserve for teaching the word and telling our people what's coming, because this will happen. Okay. And I mean, this doesn't do it justice. I mean, this looks good for an AI generated movie, but this doesn't do it justice. The Lord said people's hearts fell on them of fear for what's coming on the earth. People are going to have heart attacks at the very sight of a chariot, man, and how strange they are and how they move. Okay, and you can feel the energy behind it. Like, this is rather disturbing if you're not in the right spirit. Even if you're in the right spirit, this is something that you have to adapt to, because it's like, well, we've seen chariots, but we've never seen like an actual, well, we've seen ships, but to see an actual ship is big as a city block, big as a damn state. Let's just say you had a chariot the size of the state of Missouri. That means if it was hovering right over our skies, you wouldn't see any atmosphere. You would just see a ship because it's as big as the state. That's going to be horrific to people. People are like, what the fuck is going on up here? You see? And it's going to go down, man. But that's going to encourage us to continue to push forward, because we know that the forces of heaven is on our side. Okay, so hey, don't be surprised when all hell break loose. The Most High, hey, Jacob's trouble, the scripture said at that time, Michael shall stand up. Who knows how it's going to go down? You know, but we do know that there's going to be a lot of supernatural intervention in the lives of the men of the Lord in the coming days. Okay, when I say that, meaning destruction. And I say days because we put imminency on this thing. Okay, because we want the destruction to be nigh. Okay, we don't want to live out another 8-9 years here in Babylon the Great. That 2030 shit, I pray that is not going to be the case. Even though 2030 is literally what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7 short years from here, which 7 is completion. But overall, I don't think we got that long. Lord's will. I pray that the Lord stopped us in the middle of the tracks, because we know that what happened in 2020 was the start of the NWO. Okay, well, at least the latter phases of it. So we going to see some shit from here to now. I believe that. But anyway, going back to the precept, it says here, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor in instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon the sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid, man. Okay, so this is basically Yahushua putting an end to the heathens, man. Okay, and grabbing up the captains and putting them in slavery, because it says, and afterwards I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called it to him another peaceable multitude, man. So, hey, we're going to be watching this go down. You know, we're going to have front row seats of Yahushua physically taking this devil down. All right, it's going to be a sight to see, man, because while we in those chariots, hey, it says here, after I saw the men come down from the mountain, which is the ship, the man was Yahushua. It says, and called it to him another peaceable multitude. Now, remember, Esdras is seeing all this through the spirit, through a vision. Okay, and it's in great detail. It's very vivid. So the Lord showed him the future, showed him like in a different form or a different realm, because it's already taken place as far as it by being written. It already happened, but it's got to play out in its time. It's written in the script, you see. And when he showed him this, he's seen it in real time as a vision. And this is how you know it's to be faithful and true, because how intense it was and how detailed it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like they took it right out the playbook. And it says, and there came such people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and others some bought of them that were offered. Then I was sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou should receive my prayer. So basically, he told him, man, like, damn, he showed him the vision. You see? And this is what we're looking at. All right, so I'm going to read this last precept and let the rest of it play. The point is being made, Revelation 19, and I'm going to start at verses 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, there was a white horse. The white horse is symbolic to the chariot. It says, and that he sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth and make war. And his eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven followed upon him with white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And we just read about this in 2nd Esdras. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress in the fierceness of the wrath of the almighty power. And he had a vesture on his vesture, and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on a horse and against his army. Okay. And what was talking about was the chariots. Okay. You had Esau's military right along with Moab, Ammon, Ishmael, you see, Ham, all the militaries of the world pretty much stopped fighting World War III to pretty much pursue the imminent threat, which was Yahushua, man. Okay. That's why all the nations stopped fighting each other and they turned to one commonality. They all teamed up to go against our Lord, because now they brought the Lord back, man, because all the hell that they and destruction they brought on the planet Earth. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, shalom and a ball. Shalom.
Person in the room. I dissected some aliens and they didn't even scream. Nobody heard them scream. I created Space Force. I don't think Sleepy Joe will give me any credit.
Concerns continue to rise over Russia's growing interest in exchanging technology with the aliens, which could put global security at risk. Russia said it's committed to sharing any alien technology it receives with the rest of the world and will be transparent with the international community.
NATO is prepared for situations like this.
The NATO allies, led by the U.S., have announced joint efforts to prevent Russia from making first contact with the extraterrestrials.
And let there be no doubt, the commitment of the United States to our NATO alliance and Article 5 is rock solid.
Footage resurfaced of 2 SpaceX rockets blasting off to space in an unannounced launch. Witnesses believe they could be carrying delegates of the NATO allies who are tasked with communicating with the aliens.
A group of delegates representing Russia and its allies left off on board the Soyuz spacecraft on their way to make first contact with the extraterrestrials in orbit. President Vladimir Putin himself attended the launch and said that Russia will do everything within its power to protect its allies.
Russia has declared NATO's attempt to make first contact with the aliens an act of war, as delegates of several nations await in orbit for any sign of alien response. Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov accused SpaceX of sending nuclear weapons into orbit in an attempt to deter Russia and its allies from making any contact with the extraterrestrials.
NATO allies led by the U.S. government have rejected Russian claims of smuggling nuclear weapons into orbit. Tensions in orbit continue to escalate as the race to make first contact with aliens reaches new heights. According to witnesses, Russia launched 3 Soyuz spacecraft in the last 24 hours. Intelligence reports revealed that the spacecrafts may contain nuclear warheads, a move that comes amid fears of further escalation in orbit.
protests have erupted around the globe, calling for the U.S. and Russia and their allies to form a joint team of delegates to make first contact with the extraterrestrials. Over 20,000 peace advocates, including Nobel Peace Prize laureates, signed a joint letter requesting the delegates of both sides in orbit to work together and put Earth's interest first.
Russia and its allies have warned the NATO from any attempts at sending astronauts to the alien spaceships as it begins intensifying its surveillance throughout orbit. President Joe Biden said that Russia's empty threats will not deter the NATO from sending its representatives to make first contact with the aliens.
The countdown to the first contact with the aliens has begun. The NATO announced today that its delegates will approach the alien spaceships starting tomorrow, a move that defies Russia's threats of retaliation with a swift response. The allies of both groups have reportedly been gathering a stockpile of nuclear warheads in orbit.
Houston, this is Earthstream. We're approaching the gate of the mothership. Godspeed, Earthstream. We're counting on you.
Americans, we are warning you not to approach the gate, or there will be consequences. Americans, this is your last warning.
What's that object that's approaching us? I don't know. Houston, there is something coming out of the Soyuz spacecraft. We're not seeing anything in our systems, Lieutenant Robert. Any idea what it could be?
The use of our nuclear arsenal against Russia and its allies, who have crossed the line with the massacre of our delegation in orbit. Together with our NATO allies, we have launched the Wrath operation against every country that was involved in this massacre. I want everyone to accept the new harsh reality that the world will never be the same again. I urge our citizens to take shelter in our nuclear bunkers until the Wrath operation ends. We don't know how long it will take, but we are determined to win.
Greetings, humans. We have observed your actions with great disappointment. Your inability to see beyond your own selfish desires has blinded you. You have failed to recognize the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of cooperation and respect. We have come here to return your artifact that carried a misleading message of hope and togetherness. You are not who you claim to be. We had hoped that by making contact with you, we could share our knowledge and wisdom and help guide you towards a more enlightened path. But it seems that you are not yet ready to receive our message, and that your hearts and minds are still closed to the possibility of a better future. We are the guardians of the universe. We are the cleansers. Our prime directive is to eliminate any hostile civilizations that could pollute the universe with their greed, ignorance, and carelessness. We will give your planet another chance, but we must cleanse it first to prepare it for a new civilization. We hope that one day, a better civilization from your planet will join us in exploring the wonders of the universe, rather than destroying them. Farewell, humans.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
تحياتنا للأصدقاء في النجوم.
Здравствуйте, приветствую вас.
Сантьягури салути.
Конничева.
Нamaskar.